Och jag tror vi är igång. Yes, good morning. Good morning. So I've got a new mic now. We'll see if this sounds better than last time. Gotta try to make things better. Well, it's 5 a.m. in the morning and I'm going to work again. Yeah, starts right up. It's a rainy day today. Gotta pick something up. Yeah, right. Need the safety thing also. There's some jumps in the street. Don't know the purpose of it. Drive slowly, but sometimes they are not doing anything good. Of course, there's a car coming in the middle of the night, almost. Yeah, so what am I gonna talk about today? I have to think about that for a while. But I'll come up to something. And we're recording again. Clap, 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 syncing sound. So I've been listening to a guy named Tai and Tai Lopez, and he's seems like a smart guy, you know. He's read a lot, and I think he has some good ideas. His mission is to spread good ideas, he says, and he's doing that really good. You know, you gotta be, or I prefer to be, try to be open-minded. We got a speeding camera in front of here, so gotta watch the speed. Yeah, not going faster than 60. Woohoo. Well, anyway, he is spreading good ideas. That's his purpose, and he reads a book a day. That's not bad, man. He speed reads, and some books he reads fast, and some books he reads slowly, and depending on the time of the day and so on. When the mind is fresh, and sometimes read biography usually doesn't demand so much brain power, you know. But yeah, so he says anyway. He says that for a good life, he also likes Aristoteles. There's four pillars: health, wealth, love, and happiness. 4. So each of this category has to be taken care of. If you only have one, if you only have health and no wealth and no love and no happiness, pretty boring life, right? So you gotta aim for these 4 pillars and try to make them good in each category, and that's not easy, you know. Perhaps the most easiest, at least if you're in the mindset of who I am, might be health. You know, you just gotta control your body and what you do and how much you take in and so. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's sugar everywhere, fat, processed food everywhere. You know, trying to trick you with this sweetness and this tasty stuff. You know, but well, anyway, the next wealth, becoming rich and money-wise, or yeah, material-wise, you know, the Maslow hierarchy, you know, fulfillment, blah blah blah. This is all hard to do if you don't have any money in today's world. Used to be different, you know, when you go back a couple of 1,000 years. You had to grow your own food and so on, perhaps, and for some other way to make money. But it's pretty hard, at least in my mindset. Some people have come a lot farther and so on, and making money they think is pretty easy, which it probably are if you have the right formula, you know. If something is hard, you're probably not doing it right, you know. If love is hard, getting people to like you or something like that, you're probably not doing it right, you know. You gotta adapt. You know, Darwinism isn't really about who's the fittest, the most fittest survive, you know. It's the most adaptable, you know. And I'll put it in automatic speed. So anyway, trying to figure this for pillows, you know, getting love, getting the woman you want, or the childs and the good family, or whatever it is the best. I don't know. Some people might think it's living a more free life. Some choose not to get children at all. But there's always advantages and disadvantages. You gotta focus on at least I think you have to focus on the middle, the golden mean, as Aristotle said. Perhaps, you know, the middle road. If you don't get any kids, might be lonely when you get older if you're not that good at getting new friends and getting friends that really support you. You know, that's not easy. You can get a lot of shallow friends, you know. Yeah, hello, yeah, everything is great as long as you are great, as long as you're making money, contributing, or they can have some use of you. But then when you become some kind of I don't know the English word, sorry. Some kind of having down people with your sickness or your troubles, you know. Nah, you're not so fun to be around for these shallow people, and they probably leave you. So that's when the family becomes important, and especially if you have children. Yeah, and we're back. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about happiness. It's a pretty abstract word. What is happiness? And well, you can't always be happy, because if you're always, the human brain always adapts, you know. When you reach a new goal or you accomplish something and you feel this happiness, after a while the mind just is this all it is? What's the next? Continue, you know, never content. Usually a lot. You might be able to train this contentment. Oops. But I think you need to have contrasts in your life. The ups and downs, you know. If you don't have the downs, you won't have the ups. And some people say happiness is just the perception of the mind, how you perceive something. It's all in here, you know. You probably can be very happy or pleased in the mind if you haven't seen so much other stuff and so on, you know. If you haven't, as a child, you know, it was easier to find happiness, but it was also easier to find the down, you know, crying, laughing, crying, you know. Sometimes you just needed to see a smile and you, and you didn't have so much experience, you know, so, and you were curious and everything was new, you know. As you get older, this fascination for new stuffs becomes more. It's more hard to experience because things aren't so new any longer. You tried most things, you know, the usual stuff, you know, at least. But happiness is some kind of perception, and you probably can trick it, you know, by telling yourself how good life is. My life is perfect. I love my job. I love my girlfriend. I love my children, and I love my problems. You can listen. You can talk. You know, this positive thinking. But you gotta be careful with this positive thinking. You know, also because you can deceive yourself by that. Those bills. They'll solve themselves. I'll take them tomorrow. You know, pushing things or tricking yourself, deceiving yourself by this positive thinking. You gotta stay real and try to see the truth. Try to know yourself. And this knowing yourself is another topic, but it's deep. You know, it's hard to know yourself and your weaknesses and your strong stuff. You know, you should never build on your weakness. You should build on your strengths, you know. And you should try to make things simple, but as Einstein said, you should try to make things simple, but not simpler than they can be. So don't oversimplify things. But on the other side, don't complicate things. Human being is a pretty awesome species to complicate things also, you know. Making dramas and it's too much. We're not used to all these choices we have, you know. All this decision and so on. We're pretty simple creatures, you know, from the basic. We're just the most, probably the most evolved species on this planet. But anyway, happiness, just by start laughing like a crazy person, you know. you get some of these feeling better feelings, you know, but don't deceive yourself. So what about love? Love is a pretty hard abstract definition also. It's a word you always hear in every music and songs and everything solves itself with love, you know. Some people even say treat hate with love and love your next and all this blah blah blah. But love is pretty complicated, you know. You can what is love? Is it, we have the romantic love, we have some kind of erotic love, and you have the love that comes with some kind of fascination by a person's character or values, virtues, and yeah, you appreciate people, you know, and you can feel strong for them. Love has something to do with both feelings and some kind of rational thinking, you know. Appreciating courage or people working hard or trying their best or and so on. You get the idea. You have the romantic love is somewhere in between, you know, the fascination of another human being, and it's charismatics. Sorry, my English isn't good. And flaws, and you know, you're drawn to different kind of peoples. You appreciate how they're doing things and so on, and sometimes it's just some kind of gut feeling, some kind of connection or chemistry, some kind of chemistry between people, and then you have the erotic love, you know, the feeling, the attraction. You see beautiful. Usually, when you see a new person, you find her beautiful, or something specific about her. You know, she's fascinating. You're interested in. You want to learn more, and it's probably some kind of instinct. You know, who would be a perfect or good mother to your children, or have good genes, you know, health, beauty, and some even might be practical in this area and so on. But yeah, it's usually the simple mind deciding, or yeah. So when you're getting some kind of attachment to another people, it's probably a combination of one of these, two, or all these categories, or three of these categories. And just the erotic love, it probably won't last infinity, probably. Attraction, as I talked about earlier, you're always raising your bar, you know. After you have managed, if I manage to win a beautiful girl, and I just might be appreciating that beauty and her her nice body. It just might be, the fascination might just be for a couple of weeks, you know, or even that, a week. Then you set the bar somehow, you set new goals or whatever, I don't know, but you're not that fascinated about her perhaps after you have won her, you know. That's usually a guy thing, at least, unless she has the more deeper qualities like honesty and integrity, work honor, and helping and just being the best person you can be, you know. You probably want a person that's a quality. That's at least what I think. But these are hard to find, really hard to find. You know, most people are pretty lost. I'm also lost, you know. I'm trying to find a way, trying to figure things out, but this is how all humanity is, trying to figure things out, and there's different kind of levels, how far people have come. So you just gotta try to get 4 of these pillows, you know, arranging your life so you get this love thing and friends and good friends, nice friends, people who stuck in there when you have it rough, or when something goes bad, or you don't have money or whatever, you know, you're broke, or you need to build this ground of good people around you, and also try to have fun, you know. Try to combine the happiness, try to find ways to make money so you get a financial security. If you don't have financial security, everything becomes harder, and you need health, of course, perhaps number 1. Without health, you're nothing. So yeah, the rain keeps pouring down, you know, on the way to Stockholm. Bye bye.